What's up, everybody? My name is Kyron Chase, and can you guys feel in the air? We're just 5 days away from WrestleMania 34. And for once, I'm actually excited. The card, even though the build-up hasn't been the best, is one of the most stacked there's ever been in a long time. Now, but this video is not about WrestleMania 34. I'll save that for tomorrow. This video is about something that happened 10 years earlier. WrestleMania 24. This is my favorite WrestleMania to date. I just finished watching it downstairs on my basement television. And on DVD, might I add. Now, this WrestleMania 24 is a WrestleMania, I feel like every WrestleMania should try to be like. Had an amazing setting, great moments, great matches, and to this day, it still holds that spot in my heart. And while 33 comes close because it's the first one I ever attended, if I wasn't at 30, I'm looking at this way. If I wasn't at 33, would you say it was a better show than 24? Absolutely not. This 24 is still, I think, the best WrestleMania, and you can fight me on it. I think it's the best WrestleMania, period. But of the 20s, it's still the best. And since 20 even up to 33, it's still the best WrestleMania there's ever been. But I'm not gonna gush over it yet, all the way right now. I'm gonna actually, get reviewing it. So the show starts off with John Legend performing "America the Beautiful," which is another very good on the piano, very good. Then we have a video package on how a lot has changed in a year. A lot can change in a year, and how everything culminates tonight. That was a very good package. They usually pull very good video packages out for WrestleMania. Now, the first match of the night was the Belfast Brawl between Finlay and JBL. Now, you got to go in this match knowing that neither guy is known for their technical abilities. Not saying they can't wrestle, but this match was meant to be what it was, a hardcore match that went 8 minutes. And that's all it needed was 8 minutes. And you can tell this is, obviously, the last WrestleMania before WWE went PG, but this was right before they really changed up a lot of things, because you had got these two hitting each other very hard, might I add, in the face with trash cans and pans. Finlay, JBL throwing a trash can at Hornswoggle. Finlay trying to go for a suicide dive, and JBL smashed him over the head with a pan. That's pretty cool. Now you gotta remember, like, and this match didn't really have the strongest story going into it, which is why they put it on first, pretty much. I mean, the storyline piggybacked off of the flop that was Hornswoggle being revealed as Vince McMahon's son, and then they kind of just retconned that and made him Finlay's son. Now, the finish saw Finlay throw JBL through a table that was up in the corner, and JBL kicked out. Finlay went tried to attack him with the steel steps, but JBL hit him in the knee with a kendo stick, and did him with a clothesline from hell to win the match. Once again, a very solid hardcore match that it wasn't meant to be anything, special. Wasn't meant to be groundbreaking. Wasn't even supposed to be match of the night. Just something to get, the fire fans up, and that's exactly what it was meant to be. It did, and it did what it was supposed to do. A very solid opening match. I give it a B. I'll give it a B minus. Next up, the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, if you see me looking down, because I'm looking either at my book or my iPad for some notes. Which was Chris Jericho, CM Punk, John Morrison, Mr. Kennedy, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Carlito. Now, Jeff Hardy was originally supposed to be in this match, but got suspended right before it. And I'm pretty sure he was going to win this match, be the one that won this match. But I think without Hardy winning, they went with a better option. But I'll save it for, well, obviously who won, but I'll save it for the end. It starts off with everyone jumping out of the ring, going for ladders, and MVP taking everybody out with a ladder except Jericho. They had a joust with Jericho won because he had the bigger ladder. One of the best spots of the night was John Wilson grabbing a small ladder MVP had, hitting a moonsault with the ladder in his hand on 4 or 5 other guys. That was pretty sick. Shelton Benjamin doing a lot of innovative stuff as usual, because that's what he does. He got taken out really early in this match when he was flipped off of a ladder through another ladder by Kenny and Carlito, which put him out for the rest of the match. And Kenny and Carlito's expression of, just awe and shock was amazing. You saw a lot of different stuff happen. You saw Carlito hitting Jericho with a backstabber off the ladder. You saw Jericho putting John Morrison in a walls of Jericho, in inverted walls of Jericho on top of the ladder. But the ending saw well, not the ending, but at one point MVP was alone in the ring because everyone had taking themselves out, and looked like he had the match won until Matt Hardy got involved and gave him a twist of fate off the ladder. Because you remember, and because this is actually around my even though I was young, I still remember a lot of this. Matt and MVP were tag team champions. Even though they didn't like each other, and when they lost the titles, Matt injured his leg in the match, and MVP just attacked him right for Survivor Series, which put him on a shelf. So Matt got his payback here, and that twist of fate took MVP out for the rest of the match. A couple more things happened. CM Punk paying Mr. Kennedy back by hitting him off the ladder with a ladder. He had a ladder in his hand, he hit him with it, and he fell off the ladder. Morrison nearly got tipped off the ladder instead of but jumped off and crashed himself onto the ropes, which took him out. Jericho hit Punk with a code breaker using a ladder. Jericho almost had the match won, but Punk got back into it. They fought for the briefcase. Jericho hit Punk in the face with it. But Punk grabbed Jericho's leg and pulled it through through the ladder, and he ended up through the ladder rungs, and he grabs the briefcase as CM Punk wins the Money in the Bank. I'm not saying this is my favorite WrestleMania. This is probably my favorite Money in the Bank ladder match next to the first one that happened in WrestleMania 21. And this is where I think Money in the Bank should be at WrestleMania. I understand they turned into a Big Five this year, but Money in the Bank is perfect where it was at WrestleMania. And nowadays, you have pretty much a ladder match every WrestleMania anyway, so you might as well make it a Money in the Bank. This is definitely exciting. It was a great spot fest, and it told some story, but not a lot. And with Hardy, getting suspended, I think Punk was the best option to win, even though his subsequent title reign when he cashed in on Edge was pretty poor. I'm gonna give that match an A though, because really it was just completely exciting in every way. After that, you had the Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Fame inductees come out, and you had Eddie Graham, Gordon Soley, Peter Maivia, Rocky Johnson, Mae Young, the Briscoe brothers, and of course the headliner being Ric Flair, but of course he wasn't out there because he had a match that night. So you saw his kids, one of them being Charlotte, well, Ashley, but Charlotte. After that, we got another segment with Snoop Dogg, who's going to be the master of ceremonies for the Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjack match, which sounds terrible on paper, but actually it didn't turn out to be too bad. You saw Festus. Remember Luke Gallows, he had that gimmick where he was calm until the belt but whenever the bell rung, he turned into a monster. Then you see Santino Marella, and I actually like Heel Santino. Heel Santino, not saying Face Santino didn't have his moments too, but Heel Santino was actually pretty good. And Snoop Dogg ended up ringing the bell, and Festus chased Santino, and then you see Mick Foley saying something that I don't remember. It was kind of an entertaining segment. Next up was the battle for brand supremacy between Batista and Umaga. Batista representing SmackDown, and Umaga, or Umanga, as William Regal called him, representing Raw. This is probably the only blemish on the card. It's not even a bad match, but it's the weakest match on the card to me. This is and I do like the work of both men. They're both very good workers when as big guys. But it has some Batista taking some big bumps out the apron with a kick. Umaga hitting some cool athletic moves. Umaga went for the Samoan spike, but Batista reversed it into a power spine buster and hit the Batista bomb, falling backwards. Now I remember being, when I was 8 years old, saw that moment, I lost my mind because I'm like, oh my God, Batista hit a Batista bomb on him. He fell backwards, and you could attribute that to one, Umaga working on Batista's back, and two, also because Umaga was just so big, Batista couldn't really get him out. But it was still cool, especially to see at the time. But you could tell neither guy really had that heart into it, especially Batista. And I can't say, I think, I do see why he was kind of upset if he wasn't too thrilled, especially with the position on the card. The year before he had, the many people the match of the night with the Undertaker, even though that was too early in the card as well. And 2 years for that, he had the world title main event, and now he's only the third match on the card. Now, once again, this isn't a bad match, but it's really the only weak, the closest thing to my least favorite match of the night. I'm gonna give that segment. I'm gonna give that match a C. Next, now Kane won a battle royal on a pre-show earlier to be named number one contender for the ECW title, and so Chavo Guerrero being ECW champion comes out, and Kane shows up behind him. Bell rings, choke slam, 1, 2, 3. Now WB says the match was 8 seconds, but when I timed it, I had 11 seconds. Now I'm not gonna give this match a grade because I don't grade short matches like that, especially because I can't really give it a grade, and it's not negative wise either because it nothing really bad happened about it, so I'm not even gonna give it a grade. After that, you get a but at the time it was pretty fun to see. After that, you get a Orlando segment with Carlito Maria, where Carlito's fighting a Seagull, which was entertaining 10 years ago and still pretty entertaining now. And the sad thing about it is, it was longer than Chavo Kane. Carlito vs. Seagull was longer than Chavo and Kane, and was more entertaining than Batista and Umaga. Next up, then after that, Raven Simone came out and just promote the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And it was a nice, lovely involvement, and you kept it short and sweet. It just come in there, talk about the Make-A-Wish Foundation, honor everyone, and then walk away. That's how it's supposed to be. Next up, we had the career-threatening match, Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. Now, the storyline here is from months. I believe it was back in December, either right before or after Armageddon. Vince told Ric Flair, next time you lose a one-on-one match, your career is over. And Rick went up on a long winning streak, winning pay-per-view, Raw matches and stuff. And the promo for this match is really good. You could tell, of course, when you're little, you don't know any better. You didn't know who was going to win. You could tell they were pretty much telegraphing this was going to be Ric Flair's last match. Because they were honoring him, the promo before. And if you haven't seen that video package, please check it out. It's really good. And he talks about how, and Shawn calls him, you remember the story of Old Yeller. They loved that dog. When it was time, they had to end his life. They had to, and I'm gonna put you out of your misery. Now Shawn comes out first, but Flair has an incredible entrance with his robe, the pyro behind him. The atmosphere of WrestleMania, the nighttime sky of WrestleMania, which I love the atmosphere of it when done right. It starts off with a little feeling process. Shawn slaps Rick and busts his lip open. First blood, brother. The story told in this match was very, very good. Shawn hesitating to hit the switching music, and Rick putting him in the figure four. Shawn nearly but I know he nearly busted his ribs on the moonsault. Ric Flair moved out of the way, and literally the table didn't break all the way, and the part hit Shawn in the rib, stuck him right there. I'm surprised Shawn didn't vomit or anything because I know he had to be in pain. Shawn went for another moonsault, and Rick didn't catch him right, and Shawn still landed on the floor, which looked like it hurt him as well. It wasn't his night for moonsaults. Once again, but the story in this match told was brilliant. And while the in-ring work might not have been the strongest, the storyline and JR and King's commentary and Shawn and Rick's expressions made it work. You had Shawn getting out of the figure four twice. Rick actually kicking out of a sweet chin music. Shawn putting Rick in his own figure four, which Rick grabbed the turnbuckle off, and then when Charles Robinson turned around and put the turnbuckle back on, he poked Shawn in the eye. Rick nearly beating Shawn with a low blow. Shawn hears another sweet chin music, and you know where I'm going with this. This is the moment that everyone has seen, and if you haven't, please, shame on you. You need to check it out. Shawn hears sweet chin music on Rick and went to the corner to tune up the band, and he's hesitating, and Rick is just like, "Come on." Shawn looks down and tells Rick, "I'm sorry, I love you," and get another sweet chin music for the 1, 2, 3, ending Ric Flair's career. Well, prematurely. But that ending alone is just pure story magic. And Shawn would do this again 2 years later with his last match with the Undertaker. Too bad they failed it with the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 20. But that's not neither here nor there. Here, that was a perfect moment. It makes me emotional. Made me emotional back then, even as an 8-year-old, even an 18-year-old. Even though I know Rick was going to wrestle in TNA, it still makes me emotional to see. It was picture perfect storytelling though. See, there's those who prefer in-ring action over story, and then there are those who prefer story over in-ring action. This was a combination of both. even though you can tell his best years from behind him, Flair did work his butt off to get this, for his best match in years, and Shawn being Shawn Michaels. After the match, Shawn, kisses Ric Flair on the head and tells him something. Flair gets an emotional standing ovation. He hugs and kisses his family at ringside and then walks away. After that, I'm gonna have to give that match an A though for storytelling and in ring work. And if I'm being honest, I couldn't give the Money in the Bank ladder match an A without giving this match an A. After that, Todd Grisham interviews Edge, and Edge talks about how how pathetic fans who rely on Undertaker to win at WrestleMania, and they'll get slapped with a cold hard dose of reality. Next up was the Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjill match as Ashley and Maria faced Beth Phoenix and Melina with Snoop Dogg as the master of ceremonies and Santino Marella at ringside. I'm just gonna say for the record, as bad as this match sounds on paper, it really wasn't as terrible as you would expect it to be. You had things, Beth. I think one of my favorite spots is Beth holding Melina in electric chair and backflipping on top of Ashley. Eventually a scuffle happened on the outside with all the Lumberjills, and Ashley jumped on all of them. Maria hit a bulldog off the ropes and nearly had Beth for the victory until Santino caused her, breaks the pin. Here's one thing about this match, and you could tell the lights cut off. I don't know what they had technical difficulties. Light cut off, and the women had to rest on the dark for a few seconds. They ended up shining a spotlight. You could tell. I mean, the Citrus Bowl, Kentworth Stadium. It's a pretty old building, and you expect stuff like stuff like that happen. I'm glad it didn't happen last year, but whatever. After Santino gets involved, Jerry Lawler, one of my favorite moments. I've had just about enough of the Italian idiot. JR, watch this. Walks over and punches the hell out of Santino, but unfortunately that distracts Maria. Which led to Beth hitting her with a fireman's suplex for the 1-2-3. After the match, Santino mocks Maria, who's laid out, and Snoop Dogg comes in and gives Santino a clothesline, a very stiff and good looking clothesline, by the way. After that, Snoop helps Maria up and kisses her, and that's that. The match really is a lot better than you would think because Beth, especially Beth, carries it very well because she's the actual wrestler. Now I'm gonna give that match a C+. I actually thought it was actually kind of entertaining, and it was only like 5 minutes. That's all you need. This is before the women's revolution of great in-ring work. So obviously you don't make these matches last long. Next up, with the lights still out, you have the WWE Championship matches. Randy Orton defends against John Cena and Triple H. Now, during 2007, at different points, both the storyline is redemption for Cena and Triple H. Of them both, Triple H turned his quad at the beginning of the year, and John, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, tore his pectoral muscle off the bone. Not pec. Yeah, I believe it's pectoral muscle, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the Cena gets played to the ring by a marching band, which is a very good entrance. John Cena always had pretty good entrance. They had a poll right before the match, asking fans who will win. John got 52%, Triple H got 40%, and Orton got 8%. It starts off straight out the gate with Orton grabbing the title from the ref and hitting Triple H with it. This match was a fast-paced match and a very good match, might add. Now, despite what the fans voted on, John got booed for most of the match. Triple H is the only one that really got cheered. Now, spots in this match that I really enjoyed. There's a good spots in this match. Triple H having seen an electric chair position and Orton delivering a crossbody. Orton hitting a double DDT from the ropes on Cena and Triple H. Now, Orton's leg was worked on a lot during this match, through Cena putting him in the STF and Triple H putting him in Indian Deathlock. So Orton was laying on it. Now, this shows how clever a heel Orton was before, this finish used a lot. Triple H and Cena were wrestling for a while, and Triple H had Cena with a pedigree and looked like he had him won. Orton, who was laying on the apron for a good 3 minutes or 5 minutes, comes in, punches Triple H off of Cena for the 3 count, 1, 2, 3, and Randy Orton retains. Now, this match is very good. You have three wrestlers know what they're doing in a triple threat. That's the best type of triple threat. Now, at the time, that shocked everybody. Everyone in the audience, everyone in my house, because no one really believed Orton was gonna win. I thought Cena was gonna win or Triple H was gonna win. It was in like the match was actually short. It was only 14 minutes, but it was a solid triple threat between three really good guys. The ending, of course, made Orton like a very good, smart heel, and this is Randy Orton at his best, I think. Heel Randy Orton. I'm gonna give that match a B plus because I really think it was what was I looking for? Nothing really bad about it. This will lead to a rematch of sort at Backlash, in which JBL was added to the mix. Making a fatal 4-way elimination, which Triple H ended up winning, which was here in Baltimore, which I didn't get to go to. After that was the no disqualification, anything goes match between Big Show and Floyd Mayweather. Now this is, in my honest opinion, the best celebrity match in WrestleMania history. This match went the length it needed to, and Mayweather's weaknesses were very well hidden. And the promo, especially the promo, because I remember when this was, how media was buzzing about this match. Mayweather getting paid $20 million to do this match. The promo, now the storyline supposed to have Mayweather like the face and Big Show the heel, because look how tall Big Show is compared to Mayweather. But if I'm being completely honest, here, Big Show looked like the face and Mayweather looked like the heel, because you got Big Show saying, I'm not gonna let this guy come into our world and disrespect this business, anything like that. You have Mayweather being all cocky, and that shows in the match too, as the crowd was behind Big Show and booed Floyd. With Floyd, he bobbing and weaving, staying away from Big Show for a lot. Even his entrance was he looked like complete cocky, arrogant a-hole. Floyd's a voice show for most of it. He gets cocky with every time he hits him or anything. Now he tries to get a drink from a chalice, and Big Show knocks his handler off the apron and then smacks his handler in the chest. After that, Big Show gets Floyd, tries to step on his hand, but he moves. Then Floyd tries to choke Big Show out. Big Show reverses it, steps on his hand. Then Big Show's just dominated by he's standing on Floyd. He's slide walk slam, and this is why you gotta respect Big Show, because you could have put anyone else in this match and it could have done damage to Floyd or harmed Floyd very but if anyone in WWE knew how to handle a situation like this, it'd be the Big Show. Big Show's but Floyd's guys pull him out and they said we're done. Big Show chases after him up the ramp, which is a long ramp. Before WrestleMania 33 came out, I thought it was going to be the longest ramp I ever saw. But Big Show chases everyone and brings Floyd back to the ring, and he goes for a choke slam. He has him up there for a choke slam, and one of Floyd Mayweather's handlers hits Big Show in the back with a chair. And I think that was who ended up being Michael Tarver next. Remember him? Yeah, me neither. Big Show smashed the child's hand. He just yells, "I'm sorry." That was hilarious. It was hilarious. It still is. Big Show choke slams him. Floyd ends up hitting Big Show with the chair a few times. Big Show grabs him by the neck. But Floyd gives him a low blow, kicks him in the balls, and hits him with the chair a few more times. Takes his glove off, puts some brass knucks on it, and just hits Big Show over the head in a jaw with the brass knucks for the 10 count. This is the best celebrity match in WWE history, and they made sure Floyd looked good, and Big Show looked good as well, and Floyd was protected very well. I'm gonna give that match what did I give my grade? A B minus. I'm gonna give that match a B minus. I think it's the best celebrity match. After that, you have Kim Kardashian. Before all this plastic surgery, she actually looked good and announced the attendance record, which was 74,635 allegedly, and would stand in that building until WrestleMania last year, which was 75,245. Once again, allegedly, which I was in attendance for. Now we go into the main event, which is the Undertaker versus Edge. Now, knowing it was a long ramp, I remember we were thinking, how long Undertaker gonna get down that long ramp? And he walked down, and it took, in that time, it was 2 minutes and 17 seconds. That's how long it took him to get to the ring. Edge came out secondly and got a very good entrance. The pyro looked beautiful, by the way. Now, I wasn't as invested as I was the first time I saw it because, you know, knowing Edge is not going to win this match. But at the time, you thought possibly Edge could have won. Now Edge dominated a lot of this match, by the way. He worked on Undertaker's lower back. Undertaker jumped over the top rope on Edge. These are some highlights. Edge reversed a chokeslam into an execution. He reversed the last ride into a neck breaker. He reversed the tombstone to the Edge-o-matic. Referee got knocked down. Edge hit Undertaker with the camera, but accidentally, which he did a Survivor Series a year before, but accidentally pushes the ref out. He goes for a tombstone, which Undertaker reverses to a tombstone of his own, but there's no referee. You see Charles Robinson running down the ramp as fast as he can, which is one of the funniest sights you'll ever see. I've never seen a referee run that fast. He's moving as fast as he can. Gets in the ring. 1, 2, Edge kicks out of the tombstone. Then after that, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, who were Edge's lackeys at the time, tried to get involved, but Undertaker choke slammed one or the other. I don't remember who. Edge hit the spear, but Charles Robinson, but Undertaker kicked out. And these kickouts, they're like barely getting their shoulders up. And Edge is just pulling his hair out and like, what do I have to do? And Edge goes for another spear, hits it, but Undertaker reverses into the Hell's Gate, and Edge ends up tapping out. Undertaker once again becomes World Heavyweight Champion. Very good match. And before the match with Shawn, I would argue this was Undertaker's best WrestleMania match to me. You could say Triple H or whatever, but this is Undertaker's best WrestleMania match for the two with Shawn. Edge finally gets his opportunity to main event WrestleMania. Very, very good match. This it's a very solid match, as I was saying. And seeing how strong both men look, I mean, Edge kicked out of a tombstone, well, due to ref bump. He kicks out of a last ride, a choke slam. And I'm glad they kept the interference to a minimum because you knew eventually with the storyline Hawk and the Ryder were going to come out, but they kept to the very end of the match. And this match had a lot of callbacks to their rivalry and with the camera and things like that. This is definitely one of the best WrestleMania main events in history, and like the year before with Shawn and John Cena, very underrated. No one talks about this match, just like no one talks about this event in general. Like people talk to say, "Oh, WrestleMania 24 is a great mania," but no one ever brings it up. So with the final score, I gave the Belfast Brawl a B-. I gave the Money in the Bank an A. I gave Batista and Umaga a C. I gave Flair and Michaels an A. I gave the Playboy Bunny Mania match a C+. I gave the WWE title match a B+. Floyd and Big Show a B-. And I gave the Edge Undertaker a B+. I'm giving WrestleMania 24 an A. This is still my favorite WrestleMania, and I think I think it should rank in the top 5, top 3. You know, people put 17, 19 up there. Well, I think 24 should be up there with those two in terms of some of the best WrestleMania we've ever seen. And there's something for everyone. You got a fun brawl. You want a fun brawl? Watch the opener. Great spot back. Money in the Bank. Emotional field story. Shawn and Flair. Very good celebrity involvement. They don't overdo it with celebrities. That's how I think it should be done. And yes, I feel WrestleMania 24 is the best WrestleMania of all time, and it's still my favorite. Now, who knows? That might change after this Sunday. But next time you see me, it'll be the WrestleMania 34 prediction video with Kyrie. I'm Kyrie Chase, and I will see you guys later.